Samsung is officially stuffing a massive 800 milliamp battery into the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. But before you rush to pre-order, this exact hardware upgrade completely ruins their pricing structure and could force you into a massive $700 mistake if you buy at the wrong time. For the last 3 years, buying a premium Samsung watch has been the single worst return on investment in the wearable tech space. You drop $649 on a supposedly elite piece of hardware, and by 6 o'clock in the evening, you're desperately hunting for a charger just because you tracked a 40-minute run with GPS. In just a single quarter recently, Samsung saw its global market share for smartwatches drop from 7% down to 5%. That might sound like a small shift, but in the tech industry, a 2% drop is a billion-dollar catastrophe. It means millions of people chose to spend their money somewhere else. Hundreds of thousands of you abandoned Samsung for Garmin simply because of battery anxiety. Garmin watches could easily last 2 whole weeks on a single charge. For outdoor runners, hikers, endurance athletes, and frequent travelers, the difference was impossible to ignore. Nobody wants to carry an extra charger on a weekend camping trip just for their watch. Samsung realized that if they did not fix this problem immediately, they would keep losing their absolute highest-paying customers. But according to massive new leaks from Evan Blass and Ice Universe, Samsung is aggressively course-correcting. They are redesigning the internal architecture to fix the one flaw that has been destroying their market share. Let's break down the exact financial math behind this new 800 milliamp battery. The original Galaxy Watch Ultra launched with a high price tag of $649, and it packed a 590 milliamp cell. It bled power so incredibly fast that its trade-in value tanked almost immediately. You spent your hard-earned money, and 6 months later, it was worth less than half of that on the second-hand market because nobody wanted a watch with a degrading battery. Government database filings have just revealed the exact battery capacity for the upcoming model. The new Ultra 2 steps up to a rated capacity of 784 milliamps, which Samsung will market directly as an 800 milliamp battery. That is a physical size increase of roughly 35% over the previous generation. But here's where you have to evaluate the hidden costs. A physically larger battery means they had to restructure the entire titanium chassis while keeping the bold 47mm size and the familiar 3-button layout. You still get the top home button, the bottom back button, and the middle action button that you can customize. If you're an endurance athlete or just someone who hates charging their tech every night, this battery upgrade single-handedly dictates your buying decision. On paper, combining a 35% larger physical battery with the new chipset efficiency allows the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 to easily pass 3 full days of normal use on a single charge. That completely removes the daily charge anxiety. It changes the long-term review of this device. You're actually getting a return on investment that justifies a premium pricing structure because the hardware will not force you into an early upgrade cycle. But no other leaker is talking about this one specific detail regarding the processing power, and it completely alters the value proposition. Both Samsung and Qualcomm officially confirmed at MWC 2026 that the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 is running on a brand new Snapdragon Wear elite processor built specifically for wearables. This is not just a lazy spec bump. This chip is manufactured using a cutting-edge 3-nanometer architecture. In simple financial terms, moving to a smaller nanometer size allows engineers to pack billions of transistors into a microscopic space. This delivers massive jumps in processing power while using significantly less electrical energy. Qualcomm is promising a massive increase in chip efficiency. When you pair a highly efficient chip with a 35% larger battery, the real-world battery endurance completely changes. But here is the absolute wildest part about this new silicon. It includes a dedicated artificial intelligence processing engine engineered to run on-device AI models with up to 2 billion parameters. Why does that matter to your wallet? Because instead of sending your health data, workout metrics, or voice comm, man's up to a cloud server and waiting for a response, the watch processes everything instantly right on your wrist. Your personal training insights, heart rate monitoring, and voice inputs become faster, more private, and far more reliable. This eliminates hidden costs associated with cloud computing and data transfers. It future-proofs your hardware. When you're looking at a tech purchase, you have to factor in how long the processor will remain snappy. This 3-nanometer Snapdragon Elite guarantees you will not experience software lag 3 years from now, protecting your initial investment. Let's pivot to the display, because this is where Samsung is trying to trick us into accepting a higher retail cost. The watch keeps its large 1.5-inch circular Super AMOLED screen, but the brightness has been boosted to a level that is frankly absurd. Early rumors suggested a modest brightness bump to 3,000 nits. They were completely wrong. Recent reports from supply chains and trusted insiders like Roland Quant confirm that the screen can actually reach a peak brightness of up to 5,000 nits. To understand how high that number really is, most high-end smartwatches on the market today top out between 2,000 and 3,000 nits. Pushing a display up to 5,000 nits means you will never have to squint at your watch face again. Whether you're standing directly under harsh summer sunlight, running along a highly reflective beach, or hiking through glaring snowfields, the screen will stay perfectly clear and sharp without washing out. But do you know how expensive a 5,000 nit panel is to manufacture? It is a massive drain on resources. This is exactly why they had to include that 800 milliamp battery. It is a closed-loop hardware system. You cannot run a 5,000 nit display without a massive power cell, and you cannot fit a massive power cell without the space saved by the 3-nanometer chip. Every component is mathematically linked, and that means manufacturing costs skyrocket. I am fully expecting Samsung to use this 5,000 nit display to justify premium pricing. If you own an older model, your trade-in value is about to plummet the second this screen is officially announced, so you need to lock in your trade-in quotes right now before unpacked. Now we need to look at the memory architecture, because this is the biggest hidden trap in the entire wearable market that nobody pays attention to. On the software side, the Watch Ultra 2 comes with One UI 9 Watch pre-installed, which is built on top of the extremely demanding Wear OS 7. To support this advanced software stack, Samsung equipped the watch with 2 GB of RAM and absolutely doubled the internal storage capacity from 32 GB up to a massive 64 GB. At first glance, 64 GB sounds like overkill for a device on your wrist. But you have to look at the long-term financial angle. Doubling the onboard storage gives you plenty of room to download offline music playlists, save incredibly heavy topographical map routes for offline navigation, and install a massive collection of apps without ever running out of space. If you're paying $15 a month for a smartwatch LTE data plan just to stream music while you run, that is a recurring hidden cost. Over 2 years, that is $360 drained from your bank account. By utilizing the 64 GB of offline storage, you can completely cancel your carrier data plan. You instantly save hundreds of dollars, which heavily offsets the high initial purchase price. Combined with the fast 3-nanometer chip, this memory setup delivers the smoothest and most responsive software experience ever seen on an Android wearable. This is how you win the tech buying decision. You leverage hardware upgrades to eliminate recurring subscription fees. It turns an expensive gadget into a highly calculated asset. Before we get to the most controversial design mystery of the year, let's talk about the physical build and charging infrastructure. Looking at the overall design, Samsung decided not to change things just for the sake of changing them. They kept the incredibly strong, rugged titanium frame that people like from the first model. The screen is still protected by tough sapphire crystal glass. It actually carries a massive upgrade to an IP69K durability rating alongside the 10 ATM water resistance. That means you can take it swimming, wear it in severe weather, or go trail running in the mud without worrying about destroying your expensive hardware. They already had a tough premium design that worked. So they decided to keep the core body the same and focus their effort on fixing what was broken on the inside. Along with the frame, Samsung is also updating the wrist strap. The previous model used a heavy, rigid band that felt a bit bulky for daily wear. The new version switches to a smoother, dual-buckle silicone band. This updated design looks much cleaner on the wrist, weighs less, and feels significantly more comfortable if you plan to wear the watch 24 hours a day to track your sleep. Now, regarding power delivery, wired charging speeds remain locked at 10 watts. Usually, I would complain about 10-watt charging in 2026, but having a much larger battery means that even a short 10-minute top-up gives you enough juice to keep running for hours. You're no longer tethered to the wall. You're getting massive physical endurance out of short charging bursts. But here's where things get incredibly controversial, and it is the exact reason I told you to hold your cash. There is one massive visual tweak that has the entire tech community deeply divided. When you look closely at the leaked images, you can see a numbered ring around the edge of the screen going from 1 to 12. This detail looks almost identical to the classic rotating bezel that older Samsung watches used to have. For years, fans loved using that physical rotating ring to navigate through menus without covering the screen with their fingers. What makes this even more explosive is that regulatory documents show absolutely no sign of a Galaxy Watch 9 Classic this year. In previous years, the Classic model was the only way to get a physical rotating bezel. With that model entirely missing from the lineup, people are asking a very big, very expensive question. Is this new outer ring on the Ultra 2 just for looks? Or did Samsung actually find a way to put a real physical rotating bezel on an Ultra watch for the very first time? If that ring actually rotates, it will be a massive feature for power users who hate swiping on a tiny touchscreen with wet or sweaty fingers during an intense workout. It gives you precise, tactile control over your operating system. It completely justifies spending top dollar. But if it turns out to be just a decorative pattern stamped into the titanium, thousands of fans are going to be furious. You cannot put a functional-looking diver bezel on an extreme sports watch and glue it in place. Right now, this is easily the most talked-about mystery surrounding the new watch design. If it is just an aesthetic illusion, Samsung is setting a massive trap for buyers who expect premium functionality for their money. We are already seeing rumors of an inflated retail price in Europe, with whispers of a $57 increase, meaning you're going to pay significantly more for this hardware than last year. If you're sitting there wearing the original Galaxy Watch Ultra, my strict financial advice is to sell it right now. Do not wait. The second Samsung officially takes the stage in London and unveils the 800 mAh battery, the 3nm processor, and the 5,000-nit screen, your older watch is going to lose all of its secondary market value. The resale market will be flooded. Sell it today, extract your cash, and use that capital to offset the premium pricing of the Ultra 2. This new model is the exact course correction Samsung desperately needed to win back disappointed users. But the final verdict entirely depends on whether that numbered bezel actually spins. Make sure you hit subscribe right now, because the absolute second I get this titanium hardware in the studio, we're doing a brutal 72-hour continuous GPS battery drain test.